Hello, my twilights. It's been a while, huh? Some of you might be from my first time on YouTube when I did things very differently. However, I hope my twilights will still stay with me as I start this new journey. I'm going to be doing things very different from now on, mainly podfics and maybe music videos. So I'm stepping away from everything that I did when I was a kid. And I hope you all enjoy this tryout. This is going to be the reading of Rooftop Dreamer, written by Hey Hamlet on AO3, read by Gacha Twy. Summary. Today was not a good day, thinks Izuku as he climbs the last of the stairs to reach the roof of the 1A dorms. The roof access stairs are the only part of the dorms that don't look perfect. The concrete was never covered with flooring, with dust spinning in swirling eddies as he takes each step. He holds back a sneeze and carefully opens the door. Best not to make a noise and raise questions. Izuku has had a bad day, and Aizawa is a good dad. This is a story that was written quite a while ago, back in 2018. It's a very short one-shot. It's only one chapter with 722 words. Hope you all enjoy. This is mainly focusing on Izuku with a bit of Dadzawa. I will add everything that's needed in the description down below in the video. Hope you all enjoy. Let's get on with the chapter. Today was not a good day, mumbles Izuku as he climbs the last of the stairs to reach the roof of the 1A dorms. The roof access stairs are the only part of the dorms that don't look perfect. The concrete was never covered with flooring, with dust spinning in swirling eddies as he takes each step. He holds back a sneeze and carefully opens the door. Best not to make a noise and raise suspicion. It had definitely been a day. Every time Bakugo had chatted, all that he could hear was the foul words he'd spewed in middle school. Every blast left Phantom burning against every old scar. It wasn't really fair to him, he knew. He'd been trying to better him in his own brash way. The barbs of his words had rounded. Turnabout had become fair play. And he hadn't tried to really hurt him for the sake of it since the end of term exam. But still. He closed the door behind him, making a mental note to be back inside before the door alarms were armed. He carefully walked to the lip of the roof and sat down, backsliding against the brick. His head made a muted thud as it hit the wall. He daydreamed about jumping, about letting himself tip over the wall and onto the hard ground below. To not have to feel so much anymore. To not need to be scared. To sleep without nightmares and cold sweats and fear. He wouldn't though. One for All was too important to just let it die with him. Maybe if he found someone to take it? A nice thought, but he'd already been rebuffed once. Midoriya would have been a better fit anyway. Without One for All, he doesn't think he'd have made it to high school. Izuku shuts his eyes and lets out a soft sigh. It wasn't great to think about, knowing that almost every bad thing that had happened to 1A wouldn't have if he wasn't there. No USJ or Kamina Ward. The edge of the roof suddenly seemed a lot more tempting. Midoriya. Izuku curled into himself. Tears he hadn't noticed falling into his shirt. onto his shirt. Midoriya. Izuku curled into himself. Tears he hadn't noticed, falling onto his shirt now. A warm hand gently rested itself on his shoulder. Midoriya, can you hear me? It was Aizawa. A sob tore its way from Izuku's throat as he hunched further in on himself. Kid, please. Why are you here? Up here, I mean. Izuku whispered, breath hitching. Ida and Uraraka didn't see you at dinner, and in your room was empty. They were worried. Another sob. Okay. Izuku heard Aizawa sigh, the rustle of cloth telling him his teacher had sat himself down. That's why you're hiding on the roof. Izuku tried to make himself smaller, wishing the floor would swallow him whole. You aren't in trouble. I'm just worried. Had a bad day. Aizawa sucked in a sharp breath, and Izuku heard him turn. Kid, what do you mean? Izuku wanted to hide. The fact he couldn't see his teacher made him feel better, like it was only a realistic dream. Adults didn't care. Teachers turned their heads to protect the golden children, and parents insisted their child would never hurt a poor, quirkless kid. He didn't want to find out the teacher he looked up to was just another in the long line of adults that didn't care. Oh, kid. Aizawa sounded genuinely upset, and Izuku felt warm arms wrap around him. It made him feel pathetically safe. I said that out loud, didn't I? He whispered. He felt Aizawa nod and let out a shaky breath, curling one hand into his teacher's black jumpsuit. I wasn't going to. He let himself trail off. You tell me. Okay, problem child? You tell me when this happens. He felt himself being pulled closer, as if his teacher could hide him from everything that happened. He was sure he wasn't meant to hear the angry whispers of shit, shit, can't believe this, shit, shit, shit. I'm so stupid, I can't believe I missed this. But he let out a sob anyway. He didn't remember if he stopped crying, but when he woke up the next morning on the common room couch, Prison Mike themed blanket tucked over and around his ears, and a long cold cup of tea on the table beside him, he felt like he would never stop. Alright, my little twilights, that is going to be the end of Rooftop Dreamer one-shot by Hey Hamlet on AO3. Again, I will put everything in the description below, including the link to the fic on AO3. So go ahead and drop down, give your kudos, give your comments. I'm sure they like it, and please let me know in the comments what you think of this one-shot. I really like stories with Izuku struggling with his past, especially if they bring up about how Bakugo, even though he's trying to better himself here, he still has a very big grasp on the trauma that he gave Izuku. But I'm a sucker for Dadzawa in anything, and I just love the fact that they even bring in Present Mike merch at the very end. I wonder where he got that. That's what's in my head. I love the fact that Aizawa is instantly on it. He already knows that if Izuku has a bad day, then you know it's a bad day. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of this one shot in the comments and let me know. See you all in the next one. Good night, my little twilights.